At 35,000 feet above the Atlantic, where the roar of jet engines masked rising fear, a hijacking turned a routine flight into a battle for survival. Among the terrified passengers of Atlantic Air Flight 472 was Lena Voss, a cunning thief with a hidden past whose skills were about to become the only hope for 150 souls. In a heart-pounding standoff, this unlikely hero would risk everything to save the plane, proving that redemption can soar from the darkest places. The cabin of Atlantic Air Flight 472 hummed softly, cruising from New York to London on July 26, 2025. Passengers dozed, read, or watched screens, unaware of the storm brewing. Lena Voss, 28, sat in row 22, her dark hoodie blending with the economy crowd. Her sharp green eyes scanned the cabin, not for threats, but for opportunities. She was a professional thief headed to London for a high-stakes art heist. Her slim fingers toyed with a stolen boarding pass. Her alias Emma Klein, keeping her under the radar. At 3:17 a.m., the plane lurched, and three men in black masks burst from the galley, brandishing pistols. "Nobody move!" The leader, a wiry man with a scar across his cheek, shouted, his accent thick but unplaceable. The other two secured the aisles, zip-tying flight attendants. Passengers gasped, some sobbing, as the leader stormed the cockpit, forcing the door open. The intercom crackled. "This plane is ours. Cooperate or we start shooting." Lena's pulse raced, but her instincts honed from years of slipping through security kept her calm. She noticed the leader's gun was a Beretta, military grade, and his movements were disciplined, suggesting training. The other two, however, seemed nervous, their hands shaky. Lena's mind churned. This wasn't just a robbery. It was a coordinated hijack, likely for ransom or worse. The leader, calling himself Alpha, demanded the passengers' valuables, tossing a bag for wallets and jewelry. Lena slipped her fake ID into her sock but handed over a cheap watch, her face a mask of fear to blend in. She overheard Alpha on a satellite phone speaking in coded phrases about delivery and coordinates. The plane's course had shifted, likely off its transatlantic path. In row 22, a mother, Clara, clutched her son, Tim, whispering prayers. Lena caught Clara's eye, offering a subtle nod of reassurance. She'd spent years dodging consequences, but something about the boy's wide-eyed fear stirred her. She couldn't sit idle. Lena noticed a loose air vent above her seat, likely leading to the plane's electrical systems, a thief's eye for weak points. She whispered to Clara, "Keep him calm. I'll try something." Clara, trembling, nodded. Lena waited until one hijacker, Beta, passed, then slipped a penknife from her boot. Mist in the pat-down and pried open the vent. She crawled inside, her small frame navigating the tight space, her heart pounding, inside the vent. Lena found a bundle of wires, part of the plane's communication system. Her years of breaking into secure buildings had taught her basic electronics. She'd once disabled a museum's alarms. She cut a wire she recognized as the radio's power line, hoping to disrupt the hijackers' contact with their ground team. The intercom went silent, and Alpha's angry shouts echoed from the cockpit. Lena emerged in the galley, where a zip-tied flight attendant, Maria, stared in shock. "Who are you?" Maria whispered. Lena, cutting her free, said, "Someone who's good at bad things." "Can you get to the emergency radio?" Maria nodded, slipping to a hidden panel. Lena handed her the knife. "Cut the others free quietly." Back in the cabin, Lena distracted Beta by spilling a water bottle, feigning clumsiness. As he yelled, Maria radioed air traffic control. "Flight 472, hijacked, 3 armed men, coordinates unknown." The response was faint but clear. "F-16S. Dispatched, hold tight." Alpha, realizing the radio was down, stormed into the cabin, his gun raised. "Who messed with the system?" he roared. Lena, heart racing, stood, hands up. "Me," she said, her voice steady. "You're not getting away with this." Passengers gasped, Clara clutching Tim tighter. Alpha aimed at Lena, but her thief's instincts kicked in. She dove, tackling Beta, whose gun skidded across the floor. Passengers screamed as Lena wrestled Beta, using a zip tie to bind his wrists. The third hijacker, Gamma, hesitated, his inexperience showing. Maria and two freed attendants rushed him, pinning him down. In the cabin of Atlantic Air Flight 472, soaring at 35,000 feet above the Atlantic, where the hum of engines once promised a routine journey from New York to London. On July 26, 2025, that hum is drowned by the chaos of a hijacking, the cabin lights flickering as passengers huddle in fear. Lena Voss, 28, angular face, sharp green eyes, small straight nose, thin lips, arched eyebrows, dark hoodie and jeans. White American, alert and cunning, no visible accessories, sits in row 22. Her expression a mask of calm amidst panic, her hand subtly checking a hidden penknife in her boot.